Hey lovelies! With a newborn in the house, easy, affordable, make-ahead breakfast ideas are more important than ever. And I'm guessing whether you have a newborn or not, easy, affordable breakfast ideas are important to you too. So today I thought I would share some instant oatmeal ideas that can actually all be made up to a month in advance and then cooked up in no time at all for a hearty, filling breakfast that you can feel really good about. Now, of course, this idea is really similar to those instant oatmeal packs that you buy at the supermarket, but when you make them yourself, you can control the sugar and sodium levels, and of course, they don't have any additional preservatives in them. Just before we get to our instant oatmeal, I wanna remind you guys that all of this tastiness is going to be available on healthymealplans.com, our awesome meal planning site that allows you to browse your recipes, plan your meal for the week, and then create your grocery list. The site has been super well received so far, so I'm so glad you guys are enjoying it. If you haven't checked it out yet, you totally should. It's free to use, so you really have nothing to lose, and it will make your meal planning a whole lot easier. Now, without further ado, let's get to our instant oatmeal. Now, for my instant oatmeals, I prefer using mason jars because they're easy to store in the pantry until you're ready to enjoy them, but you could also put these in zipper bags if you wanted to. The idea is when you're ready to enjoy them, you just dump them into a bowl, pour over your boiling water, and within just a few minutes, you have breakfast ready to be enjoyed. Now, the base for each of these instant oatmeals is going to be the very same. I am starting with some quick cooking oats or instant oats. It's really important not to use traditional rolled oats in this recipe because they take quite a bit longer to cook. So you wanna make sure you're using quick oats. I'm gonna do that again. I knew that was gonna happen. I'm like, why am I doing this? Whenever you are filling a mason jar, you should always use a canning funnel. Just put it on the top of your mason jar, pour your things in, and they don't go all over your counter, right? Isn't that genius? Since we want to maximize nutrition with minimal effort here, we are going to be adding some ground flax seeds and some ground chia seeds to this. You could use whole chia seeds here, but I find the ground ones mix up a lot more nicely in your oatmeal. For sweetness in this recipe, I'm opting for some coconut sugar, but some white sugar or brown sugar will also do here. You also always have the option to leave your sweetener out completely, and when it comes time to cook your oatmeal, you can just add a little bit of maple syrup or honey instead. And there you have it, 4 ingredients as our base, ready for whatever mix-ins you want to add. First up, I've got what I'm calling my FeelGood instant oatmeal. It all starts with our same base ingredients. To that, I'm adding some dried cranberries, which of course are nice and juicy, sweet, and tart. And then I'm going to add even more FeelGood ingredients with some pumpkin seeds and some sunflower seeds. Of course, we know that we should all be eating more seeds in our diet. They're really good for us. How amazing is this? We can store this in our pantry for up to a month, and it's ready to grab and go when we need a little breakfast on the run. Super nutritious, delicious. Can you see what I mean? Next, for something a little more fun that the kids might love, I have got my PB&J version of instant oatmeal. It all starts once again with my oats, flax, chia, and coconut sugar. And then we are going to get our PB&J on. And the way we're gonna do this is with some powdered peanut butter, which if you have not tried is really awesome. You can buy it at most major supermarkets now in the peanut butter section. It's basically all the awesomeness of peanut butter except dried in powder form. It's really, really good when used in smoothies, but it's also perfect in an instant oatmeal like this. Once you've got your powdered peanut butter in there, you can load in the J in our PB&J, which of course is jelly, but not in this case. In this case, it's actually dried fruit. So I've got some dried strawberries headed in here, as well as some dried wild blueberries. And for a little bit of crunch, I'm also going to add some peanuts. I'm using salted peanuts here because I find a little bit of salt with all of that sweetness works really, really well for balance. And there you go, PB&J instant oatmeal. Tastes like being a kid again. If you're looking for a slightly more sophisticated offering, you could definitely try this apricot and almond version. I'm sort of obsessed with dried apricots right now. I'm kind of putting them in everything. Once again, it starts with our very same base, oats, flax, chia, coconut sugar, and then we will pile in our amazing apricot goodness. This is actually one of my husband's favorite things on earth, dried apricots. Then I'm going to add my almond crunch on top. And for even more great nutrition, I have got some hemp hearts headed in here as well. These can usually be found in the health food section of any supermarket. So much to love in one little jar. For all you chocolate lovers out there, I have got what I'm calling my Choco Cherry Instant Oatmeal. It starts with our very same base ingredients, but I'm also going to add a good sprinkle of cocoa powder to this, which is where we're going to get our nice chocolatey flavor. To that, I'm going to add some dried cherries. Now, these can usually be found at your bulk food store. If you have trouble finding dried cherries, dried cranberries can be a good substitute, but there really is something nice and tart about a dried cherry that I absolutely love. I wanted to add a little crunch with some hazelnuts. You could do this with some almonds as well. I love the flavor of hazelnuts with some chocolate and some cherries. There you go, Choco Cherry Instant Oatmeal, choco full of things you love. Last but not least, I have an apple cinnamon version of this, which of course involves some apple and some cinnamon. We're gonna start with our base recipe, oats, flax, chia, and coconut sugar, and then we're going to add a good sprinkle of cinnamon to this. We're gonna have a nice spice happening. I'm also going to add some dried apple to this. Now you can usually find dried apple rings at your local bulk food store. I just chop them up into bite-sized pieces. They're perfect in a recipe like this. I'm also going to add some crunch and some heart-healthy fats with some walnuts and some raisins, which of course, if you're a raisin hater, are always optional, but that sweet chewiness gives this a really nice texture. And there you go, guys, 5 ways to make breakfast a little easier in your house instantly. I hope you'll give all 5 of these delicious ideas a try, and if you do, be sure to tweet me, Instagram me, or Facebook me a photo, because you guys know I love seeing your kitchen creations. Remember, these are all being featured on healthymealplans.com. If you haven't checked it out yet, I really hope you will. Keep in mind that my brand new cookbook is available for pre-order. You can find the links in the description box below. I'm so proud of this book. It was such a labor of love, and I'm so excited to finally get to share it with you guys. So I hope you will take a look for it. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because there is lots more deliciousness where this came from.